Day 25, the Camino de Santiago, leaving out of a small town of Molinaseca, I believe. It's about 6:35, so 6:45 I'll be on it, stopping at the first available cafe for breakfast and see how far I get today. Out of Molinaseca, you're on the road for a few kilometers and then off-road onto a Camino trail. You have an option of going on an alternate path to the right. I took the longer normal path to the left because it's dark. I wouldn't have been able to see anything anyway if I'd taken the alternate. You go up a hill then on that path, and then I'm coming back down the other side of that hill and into the town of Campos. I think I said Campos, it's Campo. Looking backwards, that's first light. That's the hill I climbed over. Not where all the lights are, maybe a little to the right there. Still just pre-sunrise, looking back towards the mountains that we came over yesterday. All right, just coming up on the outskirts of the town of Ponferrada. Hey. Hey. Hey, just coming into the older section of Ponferrada. Hiking along here with, what's your name again?
Mo.
Mo, and he's from Israel. I've met people from all over the world here. And he's not the first person from Israel, there's quite a few. So this is an actual Knights Templar castle. I'm not making it up this time like I was after Pamplona. And they really were here to protect the pilgrims on their pilgrimage on this walk for thousands of years. All right, what this says is Castillo de los Templarios, and they open at 9 in the morning every day and close at 9 at night every day. I'm here too early. All right, coming into one of the squares in Ponferrada. Look at the archway with the clock ahead, looks pretty cool. By the way, you see these early in the morning, this is how they clean up the streets and the squares here. I am now out of the older section of Ponferrada and into the, I wouldn't call it modern, but probably the section that was built in the 1900s. All right, coming out of Ponferrada still, and I screwed up. I needed to get money. I'm not sure when I'll be able to get money again, and I'm not out, but I'm getting low. Guess what? I'm in luck. By the way, you do have to kind of get your money at the bigger towns. Some of the smaller towns, like I think Molinaseca, where I was last night, do not have ATM machines. This shot is looking back towards the town of Ponferrada. You might be able to see the high steeple there above the buildings in the middle of town where I was a short time ago. And those huge mountains which extend up to and actually above the clouds in some areas. That's where we were in yesterday's video. This is rather unusual in that the signs for the Camino, the yellow arrows, actually direct us right through the middle of this building, which is some fairly nondescript building out here in the suburbs. This is the name of the next town also, Compostela.
This is Brian Murray from Ireland, Donegal. This is my fourth trip on the Camino.
Awesome.
My calves hurt.
Sounds good. Pleasure walking with you for this brief bit. All right, looks like they have quite a sports complex here in the city of not the city, but the small town of Compostela. Over there, where you see the stands, that looks like soccer fields. All right, on the trail, looking forward. Yeah, that's the immediate future out there. All right, next town. There it is, Tostada and Cafe, €2. Dog's not happy about me being here, close to his sheep. And we are out of Colombiano now for a bit of a ways. And hiking on. Coming into the next town, Fuentes Nuevas. Next two houses on the left have seen better days. There was a cafe right back there, but it was on the shady side of the street, and I'm getting picky. I want to be on the sunny side of the street because it's still a bit chilly, and I've taken my jacket off. I'm fine when I'm hiking, but I get chilly pretty quick when I stop. All right, here's the church in this town. All right, so I got picky about my cafe, and there were no more the rest of the town, so I didn't get my 10 o'clock beer, but I can see we're not exactly going out into the country yet. I see more buildings ahead. All right, next town on the route today, Campanaria. I don't know if that didn't sound right. I'm sure I blew that pronunciation, but my wife's pilgrim map has told me there are 2 private albergues, of which this is one of them, in this town in the Casa Rural. Casa Rural is the closest thing I know to equate it to would be like a bed and breakfast. I bypassed that cafe that was at the albergue because it was in the shade, and there's a lot of town left. So I hope I'm not pushing my luck, that I'll at least find another one. Even if the next one's in the shade, I'm gonna stop. All right, if I can get across the street. They at least have a few chairs that look like they're sunny, so I'm going over there. All right, this is my situation. You have 4 hours of walking. That's a bocadillo with jamon serrano, which is their better ham, and a large beer, €5.50, so about $6 US. Now there's something you don't see every day. Got her backpack with her baby in it, hiking the Camino. All right, break time's over. It's about 11 a.m. I've done about 17K so far. So I'm going to go quite a bit farther today. I think at least, at least 10K. To give you an idea of the temperatures, it's 54 degrees at 11 a.m., but it's supposed to warm up, but into the 70s, but it won't get there till like 3 o'clock this afternoon. So it's really a perfect day for walking. Skies are beautiful. We haven't had actually crystal clear blue skies like this in a while. By the way, if you heard all that with the truck pulling up on the sidewalk in front of me and blowing the horn and everything, that was the fish guy. Pulls up there, blows the horn, and starts yelling out fresh pescado. People come out of their houses and buy fresh fish, or even the restaurant owners, the cafe owners come out and buy their fish there. There was another cafe still ahead with a complete table sitting out in the sun. All right, finally coming out of the town of Campanaria. All right, bridge across the highway. Beautiful mountain views to the left. Finally out of the town, off of the hard surface street walks, and back out into a more rural area. I do see, the little towns dotting the horizon ahead, and obviously we have to go over that those mountains at some point. This is a cart being pulled behind this small red car here. Just wanted to show you what the grapes look like. They're harvesting this vineyard out here. That's the workers up there in the vineyard, up on the hill. They're harvesting by hand. Coming up on that area now. This dog here is very hard at work. Sewing the leatherworks and beads.
Santiago, 194.5.
Let's see. Let me see. Moving on. Starting to get back into some bigger vineyards. Almost like what we had back in La Rioja. Not that big, but big again. All right, I think this must be the name of the next town. Cacabelas, Untitled Camino. I think that means the best on the Camino. I'll be the judge of that. Thank you very much. There you go. First time I've seen that. So it's not potable on the right, but it is potable if you press this button on the left. Little hotel complex on the right as you're walking in. Multiple cafes, one here, one up here on the left in the shade. Another cafe coming up here on the right. Probably pretty flowers hanging off the balcony overhead. Wow, I don't know if it's the best town on the Camino, but it's probably got the most cafes per square mile. There's 1, 2, 3 more down here. All right, today is a Thursday, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but looks like they're selling clothes as far as I can see out on the street. By the way, it's just a beautiful day, probably one of the best days we've had in a while. Not that any of them have been really bad, but this one's just really nice. All right, so I was talking to my friends from, I think it was Virginia. I can't remember where they're from. It's mid-Atlantic. I've met so many people. And they said they're going on to Villafranca, another 5K, and they've heard that's one of the most beautiful towns on the Camino, which actually this town claims to be. But, so that sounds like a plan for me too. Coming out of town, I have a hard time with the U's, so I'm gonna go with Rio Kua? That's what I'm guessing. They do swim in the rivers here. You see the swimming pool ladder there down there, right? And yeah, they have like a little waterfall thing going on down there to hold the water still here, so that it makes a pool. All right, so that's the municipal albergue as we're leaving this town, and it's either in or connected to this older church here. Okay, so leaving that town now, and I can't say it's necessarily the best town in the Camino, but it certainly is a very nice town in the Camino. I'll leave you back as we're still climbing up that hill out of Cacabelos. That's the town at the bottom there. I didn't have my eye on a specific location today, but this one had caught my eye as being about the right distance, Pieros. But I think I'm gonna push on to Villafranca after my friends back there told me it's supposed to be one of the most beautiful towns on the Camino. All right, there's a cafe leaving Pieros, I believe it was called. Just checked my map. This is my last chance for proper lubrication before I finish the last 7K or so, whatever it is, into Villafranca. So I think it's OB or 30. These are my views to the left. And straight ahead, those mountains are obviously tomorrow. I think I'm stopping kind of right at the foot of them. If you take this alternative route into Villafranca, this is it. I mean, and these cars are coming pretty quick. There's not much room for you here. All right, straight ahead. I'm heading to the left where I think is the village there where I'm going to. Let me see if I can zoom in. And continuing to look left. These mountain views are beautiful. Looking over vineyards and rolling hills. And after a while, this alternate route finally does pull you off the road, and this is my look off the road to the right. The opposite direction is those gorgeous mountain views I showed just a moment ago. And these views are pretty cool too. All right, it's getting hot. Well, that's not entirely true. For Florida, this isn't hot. It's getting hot for the hike I've been on the Camino. So we're out in the middle of nowhere. But you can call a taxi. He'll come out here and pick you up if you're tired. The spot where the alternative route and the regular route do come back together before you get into Villafranca. That's the way they would come down. That's the way we came up. And this is the way we're going. All right, so we're coming down the hill in the town, and you remember back, I think I gave you a zoom shot of the village up on the hill and said that might be it. Not it. So you can't see it until you're right up on top of Villafranca. So I'll give you a shot as soon as I'm starting to see rooftops, and as soon as I get a better shot, I'll show it to you. Well, the town does look pretty picturesque from up here. As I'm descending down into it, it's kind of got mountains up around all sides of it. Okay, the municipal albergue is on your right as you're coming into town. These guys are down there washing their clothes, making a lot of noise, but everything's all right. But it's a bit of a walk into town from the municipal albergue. I'm planning to go into town and find a private one for something different tonight. It's a little bit more expensive, but not much. We'll see. All right, next albergue as you come into town is on the left. It says Albergue Ecologico. It also says Ave Phoenix, which I think is the name of it. Still coming down this hill into town. I'm going to try this Albergue La Piedra, see if they have a room for me. This is where I'm at right here. Hotel Bar San Francisco. I'm on the first floor, right up there. That's a cute little place, 39 euros. And it's right here on the main square, which is kind of nice. Really pretty town here. Villafranca de, I think it's Bierzo or something like that. I'll try to find out the correct pronunciation before I leave. Today was 6:45 till 2:15. I think that's 7 hours and 45 minutes of hiking, 31K. That comes out to, about 19 miles. So it was a good day. Really enjoyed it. A little bit up, a little bit of down. Tomorrow the up gets a lot more serious. And I'm really glad to be here in this town of Villafranca de Bierzo. It's really a pretty town. I'll show you around a bit a little later. Okay, just a little single room. It's 39 euros. And it does have a double bed though. I'm actually standing in the hallway looking into the room right now so I can get a wide enough view. Not much to it. But last night I was in a private albergue and I didn't get much sleep. It was a new guy and his wife were in there, and a lady from Spain that I had actually slept near before in albergues, and I knew she didn't snore. And this guy was not that old. He seemed to be in decent shape. He'd only been on the Camino a couple days, maybe 40 years old, in good shape, you know, not real heavy or out of condition. And but he snored like pretty loud, so I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. So when you come into this town, Villafranca, stay in the San Nicolas if you're going to stay in the albergues, because this is the building you're staying in, and it's in a great location right in the middle of town. Whereas the municipal albergues on the outskirts of town, I believe it's the same price, and you can have an incredible location staying in this old building. Albergue San Nicolas, this is the one you want. Little park just next to the albergue. On the opposite direction from the albergue is the plaza where we were all just having beers a short time ago. This is us walking around and getting our feet cooled off a bit. All right, go ahead. Anything you have to say when I'm doing video now, I can cut it off. Anytime I can cut it.
What kind of music for? Yeah, you should join here. Come on. And it's cold.
The water's pretty cold, but we're enjoying it because our feet can use it. This is the little park off the edge of town, off the main square. All right, so here's the present situation. As you know from earlier in the video, I gave myself a bit of a treat and stayed at the Hotel San Francisco, which is right over there on the main square. And I'm having dinner at this restaurant here, Linares, I think. Mesan Los Ancares. And they had a menu of the day, which is 11 euro. It included the wine, the bread. That's quite a bit of wine. It comes with the thing on the right there. And I had a lot of options to pick for my first and second course, and it also comes with dessert. So I tried something local, which is a gallego stew or broth. It's really good. I don't know what to compare it to, but it's got a lot of beans in it. It's got, I think, some spinach in it. It's really good. And I was actually talking to the waiter. He speaks great English. And he lives here for 9 months of the year, and then 3 months of the year in the Canary Islands at his family's other business. So his father's from here, and his mom is from the Canary Islands. And I was telling him I wanted to get on the boat and sail across the Atlantic, because a lot of times they do stage out of the Canaries to go on the big cruise rally, which is in November. I don't remember the name of it, but it goes over to the Caribbean. And that's just the kind of rally I would like to hook up with and become crew on a boat and sail across the ocean. So anyway, it was just kind of coincidental, and I'll try to take a picture of my main course if I remember, in my dessert. So I ate that gallego stew. I'm still waiting for my secondaria, which would be my entree. And it was excellent. And by the way, gallego refers to Galician. That's the next province that I will enter shortly. I'm on the edge of Leon province now. I think tomorrow or the next day I'll enter the province of Galicia. and that's Gallego items are from Galicia. So it's gives me some idea what's ahead. I know I'll be ordering this Gallego stew again if I see it. And also in Galicia, another specialty is pulpo, which is the Spanish word for octopus. I really like octopus if it's done well. If it's not done well, it's a bit chewy. But I had it in Greece last year, and it was to die for, and I'm looking forward to getting that in Galicia also. All right, so here's my entree, or my secondary, as they call it here. Here you order primary, a secondary, and then a postre, or dessert. And usually you get a choice of either beer or red wine. This is my secondary. This is trout. It looks like it has ham on top. It looks like that's a potato there, and also a lemon to garnish it with. I'll let you know how it tastes. By the way, when you get fish, you also get the local cat. He sits there and waits, and waits, and waits. So I did tear through those fish. They were really good. If you've had rainbow trout before, it's similar to that. I know most people from the States are not used to getting an entire fish served on their plate, but that's not uncommon, not only here, but all throughout Europe, from what my experience has been. Right, so the waiter's explaining to me, this is like a custard tart, right?
Yes, it's a custard, like natural yogurt.
Yeah.
With a special honey of black raspberry from Bierzo.
Okay.
And he was the first awards premium in USA this year.
Awesome.
The taste.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's see how it tastes. It looks really good. So here's what it looks like with the honey all drizzled on top and everything. It looks really good. So I've been telling you all about this wonderful dinner, and I want to introduce you to my waiter. He speaks really good English, and his name is?
Gabino. I'm Gabino. Nice to say hello to everyone. We are in Villafranca, beautiful village from El Bierzo, North Mainland. We are now in the terrace with my guest, my favorite, my last guest, I think, right now. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of this beautiful village with the Plaza Mayor. You can check with the Mayor House, different terrace, Colegiata, Albergue, nice streets, very old, and here we are with the beautiful people, beautiful pilgrims.
Now, one more thing. You want pilgrims to come here and eat, so you offer
Yes,
like a
of
menu
course.
of the day that
Exactly.
I just showed them.
We have two different types of menu, €11, 15. You can try. You can taste the dish typical of this region, like botillo, like in this case the Galician broth.
Yeah,
vegetal.
the Gallego stew was excellent.
Exactly, yes. And some trout from close here, the river. And then we have a beautiful terrace, beautiful tapas, la carte, very nice meat, and that's it.
So what name will they see on your umbrella here so they know they got the right place?
Maison Los Ancares.
Maison Los Ancares.
Exactly.
And you did just get back from California, right?
Yeah, and there just 3 weeks ago I just arrived from California. I have been in Burning Man. I'm a burner.